This is a beautiful Tuesday. It's the Tuesday that is very close to the end of the month. So it is even more than beautiful for some of us. So let's just go straight into the topic for today. Today is 23rd of September, and we will be commemorating the World First Aid Day. The topic is first aid and climate change. My name remains Fayo Williams, your regular safety Amazon, and I am not alone. In the studio, I have with me a delectable lady who is a results-driven occupational health and public health professional with over 10 years of experience. If you see her, you know go know. She just slim like that, like Pashandi. And she has a strong passion for driving positive change. She holds a master's degree in public health from the University of Lagos, even though great is great if but we are still beefing that, And she is a Deal Fellow of the West African Institute for Public Health. Lagos, join me in welcoming Ibukunoluwa Thomas. Can you say hi to my listeners?
Hello, good evening, Lagos.
All right, we have to probably. All right, so you will soon hear her voice again, and I just did ladies first because there is another gentleman in the studio with me. A tall and dashing gentleman who is, a seasoned occupational safety and health and OSH professional as well, with well over 12 years of industry experience. His expertise covers OSH training, workplace audits, and accident investigation, as well as reporting, in order to help organizations build safer and healthier work environments. So Lagos, join me in welcoming Izu Mbemena.
Hello, Lagos. Good evening.
I hope I passed the Wazobia mark in calling your name. Did I try?
Excellent.
All right. Oh, thank you very much. So we have a bit of subculture here. We would like you to greet people in your lingua franca. So, Ibukunoluwa, you have to go back to your roots now and greet people in your native language, and then we will hear Izu reach out to his people as well from the cozy studios of Lagos Traffic Radio this afternoon.
Are you sure you really want me to go back?
You have to go back to the roots. Go.
And we're so. Ekaso. Tebitara.
All right. That is beautiful. Your people are hearing. Izu, over to you.
I
don't know the answer to that word. I don't know, but I'm sure your people are listening to you as well. It's lovely. So it's great to, hit the ground running on this issue of climate change. It's been all around us. Some people are behaving as if it's not there, it's not happening, but we know that there are rising temperatures, floods, storms, poor air quality, and all these things are producing new health risks, respiratory problems, even stress. Okay, climate-induced disasters are coming up, and this needs us to face things squarely and look for solutions. So let me just start with Ibukunoluwa. How does climate change increase the risk of health emergencies in our communities?
Okay, thank you. Just as you rightly mentioned, so many effects of this climate change that is upon us. We cannot deny the fact that it's already here, is here with us.
We're living with it.
Exactly. We have the rising temperatures, we have the extreme weather conditions, which includes the flood, the wildfires, so they are there. And the medical conditions, the emergency conditions that we're having from all of this, we have from the rising temperatures, we have from heat strokes to heat exhaustion, we have dehydration, we have from floods, we have increased transfer or spread of infections like malaria, like dengue fever, and what have you. We also have injuries that arise from floods, maybe wood spikes, injuries from debris, and what have you. So we have them. We cannot run away from them. We can only act or do things, apply first aid to help us to navigate through those effects when they come, and that's why we must be ready when these effects come, because we caused this climate change through our actions. So we should be ready to cope with them.
That is really so profound. Isu, do you have anything to add to that before I go on to the next question? Because the way she's painted the picture, you know, if you had your head buried in the sand before, I think the head has to come out now. That this is a situation that man has created, and all those high temperatures, the flooding, the heat stroke, and some attendant effects. And then look at her talking about even debris and the fact that water can spread, you know, diseases from one community to the other. Do you have anything to add to the health risks?
Exactly. There's so many health risks associated with the climate change. And basically, for us as an individual, I think there's a call to action for each and every one person regarding managing the risk of climate change. And it has to do with our day-to-day activity.
Okay.
Understand? Day-to-day activity, gaseous emission from the process, burning, exhaust burning from companies.
Dissolve those fossil fuel burning.
Fossil fuel, exactly, fossil fuel, and the likes. Even to the level of dumping refuse on the gutters. Understand? So it's a call to duty by each and every one individual
to change their behavior.
Yes. So at this point, we need to be proactive on climate change.
Okay, thank you. We need to be proactive on climate change. That is the message from Izu Mbemena today, and I need you to listen to that. Now let's go on to the next question. What can you explain, you know, what the most common climate related medical conditions that we should watch out for? You know, what are the most common ones on a day-to-day basis? Which one of you would like to answer that? Okay, Izu.
You know, she made mention. She made mention of heat stroke. Understand? The heat stroke, the heat exhaustion. You know, basically, that is the major issue.
The major issue right now.
That is the major issue.
I thought it's rainy season. Everywhere is cool. Are people still suffering from heat stroke, heat exhaustion right now?
Basically, you know, regarding the weather, there's a sharp change in
from
weather.
Time,
yes,
yeah, that's right.
Time after
to time, yeah.
So heat stroke is one of the
major things.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything to add, Damilola?
Yeah, Ibukolua.
Yeah.
All right. So apart from heat stroke, well, as you said, as you rightly said, it's raining. So one of the things, especially in Lagos, we know Lagos is a flood-prone area. So one of the things we should look out for is also flooding. Flooding, and not just in Lagos. Many times we have, maybe when they open dams and then we have flooding all around us. We should also consider flooding. And you know, this flooding doesn't just come alone. It comes with hypothermia. It comes with increase in spread of diseases and infections, and you know.
Hypothermia means you are
cold. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You're feeling cold. The chills are there.
Everybody I know has either catarrh, cough, or sore throat.
Yes.
Is that part of this?
Yes. Now,
big issue?
It's a big issue. Now, that catarrh, sore throats, basically, we'll classify them under URTI, that's the upper respiratory tract infections. And this comes from pollution. This comes from pollution. You know, our environment is so polluted that sometimes we have this chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. You have catarrh, you have allergies here and there. So all of these are they arise from the pollutions that we have around, burning fossils, generator fuels, and what have you. So these are some effects that they are very, very close to us. They are very, very close to us.
All right, Lagos. So we have been discussing first aid and climate change. I have two wonderful guests in the building. I have Ibukunluwa Thomas and I have Izu Ngbemena. And they have been outlining the kind of medical conditions that have come out, in this season. We've seen heat stroke, the heat exhaustion. They've told us about the upper respiratory tract infections, told us that virtually everybody you meet on the street has a cough, a catarrh, or a sore throat, and they told us about the floods, the kind of way that we have transmission of diseases. So if you would like to learn more, you can actually call in 0809 9120777. You can send a WhatsApp message to that number, or in the alternative, you can dial 091 53877127. You can get to talk to our experts on occupational health and safety. In the meantime, we'll take a traffic update.
Right, you're tuned to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and the program is Safety Train. I mentioned earlier that the roads are still looking very friendly at this time. That I can still confirm to you, but note that it's already busy descending the Corona Loop inward Ikorodu Road that's connecting Betola by Anthony. So please have that at the back of your mind. The stretch of Kudrat Abiola Way is still very free also, aside alternation delay, especially by Welfare intersection. You still have it looking relatively good there. Lagos Ibadan is still looking very okay. Descending the third mainland bridge in Wadiana, we're all through to Alakpere, and of course coming in from the toll gate back to Ifako. You still have it free all through to Ogudu. It is from Ogudu you'd meet with the build-up that takes you to Ifako. Just a very short, distance there. So please just be patient even as you move in and around that area.
Thank you very much, Taiwo. And thank you to our dear listeners for staying tuned on to Safety Train. We have been discussing first aid and climate change. And like I said, we have two wonderful guests in the studio this afternoon, Ibukunluwa Thomas as well as Izu Ngbemena. And we are now going to look at the issue of floods. During floods, what first aid measures are most important for preventing infections and injuries?
Okay, for
Yes.
during flooding, make adequate first aid
Preparation.
for flood. Understand? Taking it back to basically just almost this time last year, we witnessed one in Borno in Meduguri.
Oh yes.
The Allow Dam leakage that spilled all of Meduguri and all that. So that, calling that to mind, there are things we should do in preparation for this. Basically, after having the first aid kit, understand, the bandages in case of wound, the spirits and all that. When you are making such preparation, also you are also looking at a place of containment, so to say. They talk about IDP camps.
Okay.
Understand, for these flood victims.
Exactly.
Understand. So the IDP camps. So what do we have in the IDP camps? Understand. That is the question.
Resources.
What resources do we have in the
there?
IDP camp? Is beyond the daily feeding. Is beyond the daily basic hygiene kit, water supply, and all that. Then for these victims that have been internally displaced by flood, definitely it has to do with their psychology. Understand? So for individuals like this, as you are make preparation for those basic first aid items, also look at psyching this individual. Understand? Yes, because some lost a relative.
Oh yes.
And all that.
Really
so
sad.
Exactly. So over the years, NEMA, the National Emergency Management Authority agency, have been doing a good work and all that. So this is it. So basically for flood victims, that emergency, aside the food supplies, the water and the medical kits, and even to an extent they go along with even drugs, medication for water treatment.
Medications
For water treatment.
are very, very important.
Exactly,
Okay.
and other things one need to follow. Maybe my colleague will.
I think Ibukunoluwa Thomas, we can just like ride into the next question, because his Izu started telling us about the contents of a climate resilient first aid kit. You know, like this program is sponsored by Rely First Aid Kits, and it's going to be interesting to know what else should we be thinking of. You know, he mentioned the spirit, the bandages. Do you have other specific things? Even this water purification tablets. Should we start putting them in our first aid kits now?
All right, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so when we're looking at emergency kits as a whole, there are so many things we have to put into consideration. Now, just as he said, just as Izu said, we need the first aid kit in it.
Exactly.
We cannot overemphasize that.
Yeah.
Because from the floods, maybe you're having injuries, you need to get it treated, you need to get it cleaned, and what have you. But at the same time, other things that we need to have in our emergency kit, the first thing we should think about is water.
Do we
Is
have a
water.
color? Okay, water.
The first thing we should think about is water. In case of emergency,
water.
clean water.
All right.
Okay, so from the standards, it should be a case of having a gallon of water
A gallon
per
of
person
water
per day. Yes,
per person per
in case
day.
of emergency.
I
But
see.
you know, there's some emergencies that you cannot carry so much, and that's where the water purification tablets comes in, or other water purifiers. And then we should also have, so it's going to be like an all-encompassing thing, each family, because he picked it even from the organizational level. So let's not get down to family level. Each family, yes, you may think this is luxury, but not until you get trapped and you are in that emergency before you know that this is actually what is needed. Each family, year in, year out, these are plans that you should call your family together once in a year to review. In your emergency kit, you have your water, you have food. Now,
Like
the
maybe
food,
canned food.
dried fruits,
Dried fruits.
supplies that can get you 3 days.
Look at
Because
that.
sometimes, what if you're trapped and you don't have, you're cut off for that 3 days. So in your emergency kit, you have canned food, dried fruits, you have torchlight, flashlights that are
flashlights.
battery based, and then you also remember to have your extra batteries in your emergency kits. You have
Damilola, Ibukunoluwa, we
Yes,
really
ma'am.
have to emphasize, or
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
as they say on the show, let's loud it. Now, Ibukunoluwa has been telling us that your climate-resistant first aid kits should not have just bandage and spirit and pair of scissors. Water, dried fruits, canned foods. What if your area is cut off for 3 days? How would you survive? So this is a climate-resistant first aid kit prescription we are bringing up on this show today. Listeners, if you would like to call in, once again, you can send a message to 0809 9120777. You can also dial 091 5387 7127. If you did not know the contents of a climate-resistant first aid kit, as of today, you have been informed, you have been educated on what should be inside it. And I think we might be able to squeeze in one more question before our traffic update. Let's just make it brief. How can parents protect their children from climate-related health risks, such as insect bites and things like that? Yeah.
all right. So
Yeah.
Okay, I think for that.
Hello.
Oh, hello. We have a caller. Hello. Is this Elder Tewagbade? Good evening.
Good evening, man.
Good evening, sir. How are you today? Are you listening to this climate, first aid and climate action? Climate
Yeah, I've been listening
resilience.
to you.
Thank you, sir. What
But what
is
I
your
want to
take?
ask about,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned about cheap food.
Yes, sir.
Is it hygienic?
Okay. I would allow my guests to respond just so that you hear it from their mouths. Is that the only question, sir?
Because I used
Okay.
to hear that it's poison. I mean, it's somehow poisonous.
Let the guests clarify the air on that. We wouldn't recommend anything poisonous.
Okay,
So,
I mean,
all right, please listen. Thank you for calling, sir. Tinned foods, canned foods, yeah.
All right. So, yes, we know. So, at some point, they tell you canned foods are not that healthy.
They are processed, food and all.
Yes.
Yeah. But
it is true. We're not telling you to eat your canned food every day. We're telling you to just keep it in case
some.
of emergency. Because that is just going to be like a lifesaver for you when you're trapped, when you don't have access. Because we're talking about flood. Whatever food you have in your freezer, the flood might have been up to your freezer level. It should have been contaminated. So the
You would have
only
put off
thing
your
you
lights.
have at that point that can actually save your life for that period of time is that canned food. Is that canned food.
thank you, because definitely you cannot go to Ajoyingbo to go and buy tomato. You know, you cannot step out to go to my 12 because you've been cut off by the flood. So that is why Ibukolua and Izu are telling us that for the period of that you are in distress, that you are unable to communicate or go out of your house due to a flood situation, have a few canned foods provided they are not expired. So you need to check the dates often and often to ensure they're not expired. Taiwo, do we have a final traffic update?
Yes, please. All right, Lagos, we have this one coming in from PWD Axis, and it says influx around National through Ajayi Farm at the moment as a result of vehicles navigating Airport Bridge and with PWD. So it's quite slow around that area. Basically, PWD, Shogunle, Ladipo, Bolade, you have it looking a lot better. The return journey to PWD from Bolade is also okay. Ascending and descending the flyover at Ikeja looks very good. Ilezi to Dokwemo and then it's the bridge. It's very much in order.
Thank you very much, Taiwo. Now, Izu, I have a question for you. How can ordinary people get trained to respond to climate-related emergencies? Ordinary, everyday people. How do we get them trained?
Okay. Like I said earlier, it has to do with the sensitization of the individual. Understand? Because when we talk safety, we say safety is everyone's business.
You got it.
So regarding that, I believe there should be a level of sensitization. Understand? And we should know that our activity somehow bring about these
changes.
Yes, and all that. So regarding training for emergencies, every individual ought to be trained on emergency, on what to do.
Especially in this climate change era that we're in. And finally, Ibukolua, what are two simple actions that every household can take today in order to improve climate safety and first aid readiness?
Okay. So the first action I'll talk about is you look within yourself. What are those things that you do that you know is impacting negatively on our climate?
Okay.
Take that decision to stop those things.
Okay, that's
and
one.
That's one. Then the second one, go prepare your emergency first aid kits and make a plan.
Go prepare your emergency first aid kit and make a plan. This program has been brought to you by Rely Supply Limited, providers of first aid kits and training. For registering your name as a safety conscious company, you can come on radio to also enlighten the public as Ibukolua and Izu have done today. Thank you very much for coming.
You're
It's
welcome.
been great having you here. You can call the number 0803 4030366. Let me take that again. 08034030366. Till I come your way again, my name is Fayo Williams and I'm across social media at Fayo Williams is my handle. And I would say till next week, via con Dios, which means go with God.